Hi, I'm Maggie, and this is Music Theory for Piano Technicians, Part 24, The Concept of Equal Temperament and Intervals Wide or Narrow of Pure. I'm using the word concept because that's what I'm trying to get across, and some of the graphics I'm going to show you don't necessarily represent reality, but they're going to help us gain some understanding. As I mentioned in a previous video, if we tuned all our intervals pure according to the harmonic series, they wouldn't fit in our octave. That looks terrible. It wouldn't sound good either. So to get them to fit into an octave, we have to squish them in. The way I've done this graphic, it looks like all we have to do is narrow each interval and they'll fit just fine. But no, it's not that simple. There are lots of ways to temper an octave. In equal temperament, the goal is to make all the half steps the same size. Other temperaments, called unequal temperaments, have different goals. That is going to be a future video, so for the moment, I'm just going to focus on what we need to do to make all our half steps the same size. Let's start with these notes. I have a lower fifth and an upper fourth within one octave. If I were to use my previous method of showing these outside of equal temperament, I might do something like that. So bringing them into equal temperament, I need to alter them. But if I alter them to where this interval is now narrow and this interval is now narrow the same distance, the other notes inside my octave aren't going to work out so well. So what I have to do is move my G to where my C to G fifth is slightly narrow of pure and my G to C fourth is slightly wide of pure. Now remember, I'm not talking about the difference in size between here and here. A fourth is more narrow than a fifth. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these intervals being wide or narrow of pure of themselves. I mentioned that in a previous video, and I'll be talking about it again. Let's flip this and put our fourth on the bottom and our fifth on the top. If I take them outside of equal temperament, I might do something like this. And if I want to put them in equal temperament, I'm going to do this, but I haven't moved my F as far back as it was the first time when I had it in the center of the key. My fourth has to be a little wide, just like last time, and my fifth has to be a little narrow, just like last time. Let's look at a major third on the bottom and its inversion, a minor sixth at the top. In case you hadn't noticed, if I have an octave and I pick a note in the middle, any of these notes, it doesn't matter. The lower interval will be the inversion of the upper interval. That's just a quick review. Always remember that. So back to my major third and minor sixth, I'm going to take it out of equal temperament. And when I tune it, what do I end up with? I need to have my major third a little bit wide of pure, and my minor sixth is a little bit narrow. Let's flip that to where I have a minor sixth on the bottom and a major sixth on the top. If I need to put that into equal temperament, my minor sixth is once again going to be narrow, and my major third, which is on top in this case, is going to be wide, just like last time, but it's upside down. Let's look at a major sixth and a minor third. If I want to put that into equal temperament, I need to have my major sixth wide and my minor third narrow. That's how it's going to work with all the other intervals. Flipping this over, if I want to put my minor third in the bottom and major sixth on the top into equal temperament, my minor third needs to be narrow and my major sixth needs to be wide. Yes, I need to make everything squished to fit into an octave. So with any of these intervals, when I'm talking about them being wide, we have to narrow the narrow intervals even more to make room for them. That's an important point to remember also. So why we temper? We temper to make our notes fit into an octave. Why we temper equally? To make each half step the same size so we can play in all keys with one tuning. Before equal temperament, one could change keys to a point, but they had a different color, and if you tried to change to a key far away, it could sound pretty rough. Why might we temper unequally? To make it so one can play in a particular key with more pure intervals. If we can tune some of our intervals more pure, they can sound quite nice. Unequal temperament can create more beautiful consonances and more harsh dissonances. A consonance could be an octave or a fifth. Dissonance could be a minor second. Dissonances are something that are harsh. Consonances are something that is more pure or beautiful, depending on the listener. When the concept of equal temperament first appeared, there was much argument about its use because, yes, you could change keys, but so what? They all sounded the same. Unequal temperament can make each key sound different, give it a different character, a different color. So there are times you might want to do that. But when we're starting out tuning today, we want to learn equal temperament first because that's what most people want and it's important. If you want to learn to tune equal temperament, you must know which intervals are wide and which intervals are narrow. Wide intervals are perfect fifths, major sixths, major thirds. That's the ones we were looking at today. Narrow intervals that we looked at today are perfect fourths, minor thirds, and minor sixths. And remember, these are inversions of each other. The inversion of a perfect fifth is a perfect fourth. The inversion of a major sixth is a minor third. The inversion of a major third is a minor sixth. I'm going to say this again. If you want to learn to tune orally, you must know these concepts. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, corrections, or requests, please comment below or email maggie@thebutlerschool.org. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have, thanks. Happy tuning!